What's going on, everybody? We are back with a brand new video, and before we get rolling, let me hit you with what's becoming my usual disclaimer now, is that we are in the four-wheel studio, aka my car. So if there's any audio differences as opposed to normal and or background noise, please attribute it to that. So I've been ripping and running and just have not been in a position to sit down long enough with my normal setup in order to record a video. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. As many of you know, follow this channel, game one of the Western Conference semifinal playoff series between the Timberwolves of Minnesota and the Nuggets of Denver took place this evening, and it was the Timberwolves who came out on top, defeating the Nuggets 106-99 behind a outstanding performance by Anthony Edwards. This brother had 43 points. I believe he was 17 of 29 from the floor. I've got the box score here. I can tell you, actually. Yeah, 17 of 29 from the floor, 3 of 7 from downtown, a perfect 6 of 6 from the charity stripe, 2 blocks, a steal, just 1 turnover. He added 7 rebounds and 3 assists and was a plus 10 on the evening. That wasn't even the highest plus minus on the team. So another wonderful performance as we continue to see with I almost said Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards. We are seeing a superstar birth and break ground right before our very eyes, and it's wonderful to see. And I know that I get it. It's fun. It's funny to talk about, and some of the moves he made. They'll be like, "See, just like your daddy." See, I know the MJ son comparisons are gonna come out. I don't particularly take too much stock into them. I think they're funny and entertaining. But I will say this: Anthony Edwards, whatever you feel about his potential paternity, his genealogy, if you will, he does attack the game and approach the game from a perspective that many of us longtime basketball fans have longed to see come back in this current era. It's definitely an old school feel to where he doesn't want to be buddy. He wants to, to quote his own word, say, "I want to kill what's ever in front of me." And that's unfortunately what used to be the standard. That's what he's saying is now an anomaly. And so as a basketball fan, it's good to see somebody approach the game like that, to where they're out there to take no prisoners. And, to some of us, it's not, well, to some of them, it's not just basketball, except when you lose. Anyway, we're seeing him develop into what could be a future, one of the faces, if not the face, of the NBA. And we'll continue to see what he does, but he's definitely cementing his game. They say you make your name in the playoffs, and so far he is doing that. You had ask Kevin Durant about it. So just an outstanding performance by a player who is really starting to make a name for himself in the upper echelons of the NBA. Now, some of the other contributors, really there was only 3 other Minnesota players in double figures, and only 2 of the other starters. Old reliable Mike Conley had 14 points and 10 assists, on an efficient 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from downtown, 1 of 1 from the line, and he was actually a team high plus 20. And he's become one of those veterans that's just a steady, consistent force out there. He's not going to make too many mistakes. He's going to provide you with, at worst, steady, largely mistake-free play on the basketball court, and particularly for a team that's still very young, because Cat's not old. His influence is really important for a team, and it just goes to show you, and I don't want to go on for this too long, that despite what the current prevailing thought of the NBA is, you need veterans like this, not only in the locker room, but you also need veterans on the court to help steer these young guys in the right direction when things get out of whack out there. When adversity comes, they can help stem the tide, and so he's continued to provide that for the Timberwolves. Let's see, who else was in double figures? Speaking of, as I just referred to, Cat had 20 points on 8 of 13 from the floor, 2 of 4 from downtown, and 2 of 4 from the line. Come on, Cat, 4 rebounds? That is terrible. 4 rebounds and 3 assists, and he was a +6 on the evening. You gotta pick that rebounding up. That's not acceptable, man. Those are like Brooke Lopez numbers. The only other Timberwolf player in double figures was Naz Reid, who has continued his excellent play this season. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in 23 minutes of action on 7 of 11, and 3 of 4 from downtown. And he was actually a -7 on the evening. Now, for the Nuggets of Denver, they were led by, of course, Nikola Jokic, who scored 32 points, had 8 rebounds and 9 assists, but only, and I say only because his efficiency is usually much higher. I believe the last time I looked, it was somewhere around 57, 58% he's shooting from the field in the playoffs. So to see him go 11 of 25 on the evening and just 2 of 9 from downtown, that's really too many three-point attempts, I feel. He's got to make his hay closer to the basket. 2 of 9 from downtown, a perfect 8 of 8 from the line. He also had 3 steals and 7 turnovers, which is not something you typically see from Jokic. So shouts out to the Timberwolves defense, able to force 7 turnovers. And he was a -12 on the evening, which is also something you rarely see out of Nikola Jokic. Michael Porter Jr. added 20 points, again on 6 of 13 from the floor, 4 of 7 from downtown. He continues to shoot the 3 ball very well in the postseason. 4 of 6 from the line. We have 6 rebounds and 1 assist, and he was a -9 on the evening. And their other double figure scorer, who was it here? I'm sorry, was Jamal Murray. Who, let's see, he scored 17 points, 6 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 4 from downtown, 3 of 3 from the charity stripe, and he added, but he had 1 rebound and 4 assists. And the MVP of the opening round was a staggering -22 on the evening. Aaron Gordon, who was so key in the Lakers series, had just 9 points, but then he just took 4 shots in his 33 minutes of action, adding 3 rebounds and 6 assists. 0 of 1 from downtown, 1 of 3 from the foul line, and he was a -23 on the evening. Yikes, worst plus minus on the team. So again, the Nuggets were able to limit the effect of what Jokic could do, forced him into taking a high volume of 3-pointers and forced a lot of turnovers. And actually, let me see how many turnovers they had on the evening. Let me tell you. This is the problem when you're in the mobile studio sometimes. Let me see. Stats. They had... How many turnovers did they have? This is the height of professionalism, ladies and gentlemen. 14 turnovers. Jokic had half of them. Wait. No, I'm sorry. They had 12 turnovers. Jokic had 7 of their 12 turnovers. I mean, they shot the ball fairly well, actually. 47%, and this is Denver I'm speaking of. 42% from downtown. 24 assists. They won that. Denver lost. Minnesota beat them up on the boards by 7. Yeah, it just came down to. So one of the factors, like I said, the primary shot takers for the Timberwolves were more efficient than that of the Nuggets. Neither with Jokic, Murray, or Michael Porter Jr. shooting 50%, much less better, which can't be can't get it up. The same can't be said for the Timberwolves. Matter of fact, all of their starters shot 50% or better, with the exception of Jaden McDaniels, who was a frigid 0 of 7 from the floor. And then when your best player has 7 turnovers, and then I'm pretty sure that the game plan from Coach Michael Malone and the Nuggets was not for Jokic to jack up 9 threes in a game. So the Timberwolves were able to kind of force Denver into some things that they didn't want to do. So be interesting to see the adjustments that Denver's going to make in Game 2, and then how Minnesota will respond to those. Will we see less of Aaron Gordon on Anthony Edwards? Because he had a tough day at the office guarding Ant-Man. So we'll see what they're going to do. I suspect we may see maybe some more doubling and some other things to probably try to get the basketball out of his hands, and certainly not allow him quite to go to work as he was able to do in certain instances in Game 1. But, again, in wrapping up, the Timberwolves take a 1-0 series lead in the Western Conference semifinals with a 106-99 defeat of the Denver Nuggets. I keep wanting to say the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's weird. So, what did you think of the game? Does this one game, if you thought that Denver was going to win, are you now concerned? Do you think Denver's in trouble? Or, if you're a Minnesota fan or thought that Minnesota was going to win, did this bolster what you already thought? Let us know in the comment section. Definitely let's talk about it. And as always, thank you for spending a few moments with us. And as always, tell the ones that you love them. Peace.